When the name Adolf Hitler is mentioned, hate fuels the mind of those he has affected in one way or the other. He is unarguably one of the most hated people in history. The destruction he brought upon the lands and the snuffing out of many lives has left the world with pain that can still be felt to date. But here's an intriguing perspective. Could his actions and decisions have been influenced by various medical conditions he may have had? Well, this video aims to shed light on Hitler's hidden medical records, exploring the possibility of drug use, hormonal imbalances, or even deadly diseases that might have influenced his actions. Join us in today's episode as we uncover the truth. As a growing child, Hitler was very healthy. Despite his poor diet and lack of exercise, he was a strong and healthy boy. His health started to go down the drain when the responsibilities of being the Führer of Germany began to take a toll on him. Hitler had several exposures to drugs and concoctions given to him by his doctor in the person of Theodor Morell. These drugs did more harm than good. While other factors also contributed to the short span of Hitler's life, it's worth noting that his health issues were not the direct cause of his death, but they may have played a significant role in influencing the course of events. Hitler heavily relied on drug use during his time as a leader, regularly consuming around 90 different medications as the Führer. The question arises, was he simply an addict, or were his unconventional quack doctors responsible for prescribing these drugs? Hitler believed these medications could cure various ailments, including stomach aches, but it's widely known that opiates, barbiturates, and methamphetamine do not provide such cures. Unfortunately, the downside of this drug administration was the development of addiction, as the brain demanded more with continued consumption. It's reasonable to question whether his quack doctor played a role in Hitler's addiction. This addiction had a detrimental impact on his health and decision-making as the German leader, further exacerbating the issues faced during his reign. Methamphetamine, one of the drugs used by Hitler, is a stimulant that can increase alertness and confidence. It also adds the gift of boosting energy levels for those who use it. The weird thing about this drug is that it has the opposite side effect. Methamphetamine leads to agitation, aggression, and impaired judgment. Barbiturates, on the other hand, are sedatives for calmness and relaxation. Its side effects include confusion and clouded thinking. These drugs administered by Morell to Hitler might have been for a good purpose, but the high dosage and use caused the addiction to the drug. Some historians believe the effects of these drugs on Hitler to be the cause of his actions, while others don't want to unpaint the picture of Hitler they have in their heads. These historians do not wish to blame drugs for his actions. According to those who support the theory, the type of drugs Hitler consumes is proposed to be a reason for his erratic behavior and impaired judgment. The use of methamphetamine can be associated with Hitler's rash and impulsive decisions. These decisions led to Hitler's miscalculations and errors during the period of the war. So, although methamphetamine boosted his confidence and esteem, it was a path that led to his downfall. Hitler's erratic behavior influenced his interactions with advisors, military leaders, and allies. This would have affected the execution of military campaigns and political decision-making. Hitler had a reduced ability to consider other viewpoints and options. This inability led the German leader to build overconfidence and overestimate his capabilities. It's worth noting that his use of methamphetamine, particularly in stressful situations, contributed to his narrow focus on specific ideas and strategies. The drugs played a significant role in affecting both his mental and physical health. They reduced his stamina and endurance, ultimately hindering his ability to be a rational and thoughtful leader. Blaming drugs, it becomes evident that Hitler's decision to invade the Soviet Union in 1941 was undeniably delusional. His underestimation and overconfidence proved disastrous for Germany as they faced defeat at the hands of the Soviets. The influence of methamphetamine contributed to this overconfidence, obstructing his strategic planning and execution of the campaign. Another delusional act that can be attributed to drugs was Hitler's decision to hold the city of Stalingrad at all costs. His stubbornness and refusal to relinquish the town resulted in a tragic loss for the German forces. Hitler's attitude and lack of calculation went on throughout the war, and even in the final stages, he still made erratic decisions and pronounced unrealistic military orders that led to the defeat of Germany in World War II. According to Redlich's analysis, Hitler suffered from vision impairment, dizziness, abdominal spasm, jaundice, and laryngitis. In 1945, Hitler's abdominal symptoms and tremors increased. These symptoms led his doctor to give him a concoction mix of opiates, barbiturates, and cocaine, bromides, and methamphetamine, among others. Despite these drugs being found in his system, there is little to no evidence that Hitler was addicted to these drugs. For this reason, Many historians have refused to blame his actions on the side effects of drugs, but rather on his primary personality. The ongoing debate among historians about how Hitler's health issues may have influenced his behavior during World War II continues, and rumors about the German leader abound. One such rumor suggests that he had only one testicle, but historians have dismissed it due to the lack of concrete evidence. Nevertheless, it is worth noting that amid the various concoctions he took for his health, testosterone was among the substances he consumed. You see, testosterone is a hormone used to increase sexual potency in men. Just like every drug consumed, hormones usually have their side effects. Taking testosterone can lead to various attitude changes in the body. It causes increased irritability, aggression, and impulsiveness. Testosterone also gives individuals mood swings and a sense of heightened dominance. So, if we are blaming substances for Hitler's behavior, methamphetamine isn't the only one going to court. The testosterone given to him by his physician Morel will also be blamed. In addition to testosterone, Hitler also used other hormones such as steroids. These steroids share similarities with testosterone in terms of side effects, including increased aggression, irritability, and impulsiveness. One notable characteristic of steroids is their ability to cause sleepless nights and elevate energy levels. As a result, Hitler's sleep might have been compromised, leading him to use sedatives to aid in sleeping. His extensive use of drugs and hormones could even be likened to a pharmaceutical company within his body. While it's uncertain whether these substances were the sole reason for his behavior during the war, they undeniably contributed to shaping the Adolf Hitler we know today. Aside from Hitler's drug use, there are speculations that he may have suffered from Parkinson's disease. Medical historians have carefully examined Hitler's medical report, which documented cases of tremors, difficulty in walking, and rigidity, all of which are classic symptoms of Parkinson's disease. Additionally, Hitler's aides and personal secretary reported that he experienced tremors along with a shuffling gait, further supporting the possibility of him suffering from Parkinson's disease. Based on analyses of films and photos of Hitler in his later years, he appeared to exhibit languid movements and a stooped posture. While the autopsy report, which was reportedly misplaced or incomplete, indicated some evidence of Parkinson's disease in Hitler's brain, the lack of comprehensive medical records leaves the matter of Hitler having Parkinson's disease still debatable. If Hitler suffered from Parkinson's disease at such a crucial time in history, then his attitude and behavior might have been explainable. A leader with Parkinson's disease will have reduced physical ability. He will need help communicating effectively and mobilizing troops or engaging in physical activities during wartime. He will also experience cognitive challenges such as difficulty in concentrating and accurate decision-making. These challenges will prevent such a leader from carefully processing complex information and strategies while adapting to rapidly changing war situations. Parkinson's disease will also lead to instability and uncertainty in the leader's decisions and abilities. The sickness will leave the leader with no choice but to rely on his advisors to make certain decisions. Parkinson's disease might be the next thing to blame for Hitler's behavior during World War II. However, there is no concrete evidence to back such claims. Adolf Hitler's death occurred on April 30, 1945, when he committed suicide in an underground bunker in Berlin during the final days of World War II. Following his death, Nazi Germany surrendered unconditionally on May 8, 1945. As a major villain in historical accounts, Hitler's decision to end his life shaped the course of history. However, the question arises, what if he had chosen to continue living and leading? What kind of leader would Hitler have been given all these speculations around his health? Well, if Hitler suffered from Parkinson's disease, his physical and cognitive abilities would continue declining with time. His physical skills, like the tremor and unstable gait, will likely worsen, reducing his ability to appear solid and stable publicly. His cognitive skills will also deteriorate, leading to ineffective communication. Hitler's declining health will automatically leave the matters of Germany in the hands of his advisors, as he would not be able to make decisions. If he were allowed to make decisions, it would lead to passing laws and orders that would jeopardize military strategies and diplomatic efforts. Hitler's inability to portray himself as a strong Führer will lead to the declining morale of the German population and Nazis. The outcome of the war would have been very displeasing for Germany. In every story, whoever tells it will portray themselves as a good character. If Hitler suffered from drug abuse and Parkinson's disease, then perhaps his decisions, actions, and stubbornness before and during the war may be justified. However, no claims, information, or solid evidence support the fact that his attitude was due to ill health. Many historians have refused to change their minds on the type of person Hitler was. They blame his personal lifestyle and dependent attitude for being a very irrational leader. The reasons behind Hitler's erratic decisions remain a subject of speculation, and it is crucial to acknowledge that his medical records are also mere speculations, shedding light on what might have contributed to his ruthless actions. Well, where do you stand in all of this? Should drugs and ill health be blamed for Hitler's behavior, or was he just a villain in another historical story? Let us know in the comments section down below.